That's as good as it's gonna get. You're a little tilted. But hello, creeps. Andy here. Today I have another book haul for you. Now, before you say anything, let me just say that I was planning on cutting myself off from books for a while. However, I had an appointment last Friday. I was already out of the house. There's nothing else to do. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy me some books. So I figured I'd show them to you, but this will be my last one for a while. I promise. I have told myself that you do not need any more books. I'm hoping to provide you with better videos coming up and not just a million horror book hauls. That being said, let's do another horror book haul. I got 9 books this time, so a little bit less than last time. So the first book that I got was The Island of Dr. Moreau by H.G. Wells. I do have this, but I do have an H.G. Wells anthology, and although it's beautiful, it's not very portable, and so I like smaller books that I can just, you know, take with me wherever I go. I always have books in my car and stuff, and bigger books are just a little bit harder to move around. So, although I do have this one, I decided to buy a smaller version. This was $3. Again, we're on the half off sale, so this was $1.50. Did I just say half off? I meant half off. Okay, the next thing that I got was, and by the way, they're not all horror. This one I believe is sci-fi. At least most of H.G. Wells novellas and stuff are. So anyways, the next thing that we got was Othello. This is obviously a Shakespearean tragedy. The reason I picked up this one though is because it has this really cool thing on the side. So it tells you, for example, this one, in line 7, it says go to, but really what it means is an expression of impatience. And so I think that that's really cool that it gives you not only what the word is supposed to mean, but like the context of it being used in the sentence. And this was also from the world's leading Center of Shakespeare Studies. Obviously, Shakespeare is not the easiest thing in the world to read. Middle English definitely isn't the easiest for me. So I like that I have the breakdown of it on the side, especially now that I'm not like in a Shakespeare class where my teacher can explain something to me. So I'm really excited about that. This guy was $2, so I paid $1 for it. The next thing I got, I'm really excited about. This one is called Pure Pulp. So it's a bunch of short stories, but it says between 1920 and 1950, pulp magazines with names like Dime Detective and Crime Busters flourished in America. And so it's a bunch of these stories from the 20s to the 50s from these pulp magazines that aren't in existence anymore. So I'm really excited about this. You guys know I love short stories and I love reading, especially a lot of writers that I wouldn't have otherwise picked up. So this was obviously in the horror, thriller, mystery section, and it looks really awesome. I'm super excited for this. I just think that this will be a lot of fun. I don't know a lot of the writers in here. I don't know if they're all big name writers or if they were just smaller writers at the time. I really don't know. So I'm super excited to dive into this bad boy. And this was $5, so $2.50. Come on. Okay, the next thing I got was the Best of All Flesh Zombie Anthology. This is edited by James Lowder, and it is, again, just like an anthology, but all around zombies. So I thought that was pretty cool. I'm excited to read this. This one doesn't have a lot of huge name writers that I recognize, so again, I'm excited to read and find other writers that I enjoy from this. I think this is going to be really neat. And it says stories from the award-winning Books of Flesh anthologies in a single volume. This one, $7. The next thing that I got was another William Peter Blatty. So this is the writer of The Exorcist. This is Demeter. I'm not really sure how to pronounce it, but it's another kind of along the realms of an exorcist book. It's about the Catholic Church and an unsettling presence. I don't know, I didn't read too much into it, but William Peter Blatty is pretty awesome. I very much so enjoyed The Exorcist, so I thought it would be kind of cool to read something that's a little less popular. Please let me know how to pronounce it because I am a moron. This was $6, so $3. So next up, I just found this. It's by Robert A. Heinlein, and it just says The Past Through Tomorrow, Future History Stories Complete in One Volume. So this was in the sci-fi section, and I think it's just 21 different stories, novellas, and novels from Heinlein's Future History collection. So they're just sci-fi stories. I'm always looking for a good sci-fi book, but it's hard for me to get into a lot of them because I'm not a big fan of fantasy. So I'm very specific with my sci-fi books that I enjoy. So I thought this would be cool to kind of give me an idea about this writer's writing style. Let me know if you guys know who this is, Robert A. Heinlein. And this guy was $2, so $1. That's so much entertainment for $1. And it's also from Sunscape Library, wherever the hell that is. Next up, we have Robert Bloch, and this is called Laurie. So Robert Bloch is the writer of Psycho, and he also wrote a story, another book that I read called The Serpent is in Eden. The Serpent Lives in Eden, something like that, that I very much so enjoyed as well. So I picked this guy up. It just says, Laurie, step by step, an innocent young woman is drawn into a web of deceit, murder, and supernatural danger. Death awaits, but will Laurie be the victim or the killer? So this was $2. $1 for this guy. Unfortunately, this one, someone hole punched it, which there's, you know, a special place in hell for people who hole punch the cover of a book for no reason. But that's okay. It was $1, so no big deal. Next, I have, this is by Anthony Bourdain, and it's called Bone in the Throat, a novel. This was a mystery thriller novel, and I actually picked this up for my brother because he's a huge Anthony Bourdain fan, and I didn't know that he wrote fiction as well. So this was $5 and half off, and I picked that up for my brother to give him. And last but certainly not least, and the last thing that I picked up, I'm very, very excited about. So this is John Milton's Paradise Lost. Supposedly it is all books in it, which I don't know how, because it's not that large. Anyways, and it's illustrated by Gustave Doré, I think is how you pronounce that. And there's just really beautiful paintings in here. Let me give you an example. And so you have all these really cool correlating pictures along with Paradise Lost, which I thought was really awesome. So if you don't know who John Milton is, he's a really fantastic writer. This is my John Milton book from college, and so it's complete poems and prose. It's not easy to carry around, although this really won't be either. So hopefully one day I could find like a Paradise Lost that I can actually bring around with me. I don't think that this one has all 12. Maybe I'm a moron and can't read Roman numerals. Yeah, so this does have all 12 books. So if you don't know what Paradise Lost is, it's an epic poem by John Milton, and it seeks to justify the ways of God to men through the familiar Christian myth of the fall from grace. The poem is imbued with Milton's profoundly individual view of man's place in the universe and his intellectual and spiritual quest for redemption in the face of despair. However, it is just so beautifully written and really interesting to read. I think it's a really pretty display book as well because of the pictures. And this was $8, so $4 for that. Which, by the way, my John Milton book from college was probably like $50. So can't really beat that. All of these I paid $21.90 for. It's such a good deal. That's why I keep going back and buying books. But I have a lot of books to catch up on. I also bought a new bookshelf, so I will be setting that up all on my other channel, and then on this channel I'll give you a 2021 bookshelf tour once I have that all set up and figure out how I'm going to arrange things. But anyways, that's my small little haul for the day. 9 new books, still too many. Well, I guess you can never have too many books, right? That is it for today's video. I apologize for doing so many horror hauls recently, but I have bought a lot of books, but I've also just had a lot of other shit going on, so I haven't had time to like sit down and watch a ton of movies. But I promise I have some good videos coming up, so I promise if you're subscribed, I will not bore you any longer with book hauls. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you Tuesday, Thursday for sure. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.